Now this is a motorcycle that bikers have been waiting for a very long time. And I'm going to say bikers here because normally we'd have to split it up into Royal Enfield enthusiasts and everyone else. But going by the build-up over the last few months, everybody, whether they've made fun of Royal Enfields in the past or whether they've ridden one and had their issues, they have been waiting keenly for the arrival of that, the Himalayan. It's in a huddle right now, but we managed to take a quick look at it and we'll tell you what it's like. This is absolutely painful. The Himalayan's been unveiled, but we're only going to get to ride it in March at the earliest. So we're going to have to wait and keep ourselves engrossed in the specs for now. And what we do know now for sure is the engine displacement, 411cc, 24 bhp. This is a carbureted engine. So it's in line with what we expected considering what the classic 350 has to offer, which is about 20 bhp. This is 24. So, it's just that linear move up that you expected from this engine. Nothing very revolutionary in terms of power output. Royal Enfield has been clear that they wanted good torque at the low end, wanted the motor to be usable, and that's what they've aimed for. But at the same time with the engine, they are stressing the fact that it is a lot more durable. For instance, service intervals are larger than other Royal Enfields and oil change intervals are 10,000 kilometers. But for an adventure bike, what's crucial is the chassis and the suspension setup, and that's really a treat here on the Himalayan. For the first time, Royal Enfield is using a monoshock at the rear, and it has conventional telescopic forks at the front. But what's really interesting is when you compare it again to the classic 350, the travel on offer is way more. On the classic 350, you had 130 millimeters of travel at the front. Here you have 200 millimeters of travel. And at the rear, you have about 180 millimeters of travel. And of course, along with that, you have a 21-inch front wheel. Why is the front wheel diameter larger on adventure bikes? Because it makes it easier for them to overcome obstacles like rocks and such. So even on the Impulse, you have 19-inch rims. These are 21. So this is going to be really taking on the rough stuff with a bit more composure and a fair bit of ease, I would think. The chassis, of course, is an exposed tubular frame. You can see it. It's a dual cradle setup running all through the bike. It's exposed. It looks very, very handsome. Royal Enfield again said that the idea was to keep it minimalist, keep it rugged, and it works. You look at the side panel on the bike, there's nowhere you see a decal on it or an extra sign saying Himalayan. It's actually cut into the side panel and it looks really cool. It's like falling rocks. Now, Sidlal was talking during the presentation about the Himalayan being something that can take on the Himalayas, but at the same time, it's not too extreme. And despite all the wheel travel and the ground clearance, what's really interesting is the seat height, and that really exemplifies this point. It's just about 800 millimeters, which means even shorter riders will be comfortable in the saddle. And then we come to the weight of the motorcycle. It's about 182 kilos. That's again lighter than the classic 350, and that's great because lighter bikes are better, but this bike also carries a lot more ruggedness with it. It has a long travel suspension, so you would have expected it to be a bit heavier, but no, it's lighter. So really good on that front. Now, smaller things, haven't sampled it yet, of course, but the saddle, the rider's seat looks spacious, looks comfy, very nicely detailed. Even like that small step to the pillion seat looks nice. There are a lot of places to store luggage. For instance, you have hard luggage, soft luggage. You can load luggage at the front near the tank. So really a lot of things to really make this motorcycle something you can tour on. And we've spoken about the ruggedness of the design itself. So to take on rough roads, really capable motorcycle. I think as an adventure tourer, the Himalayan is going to be very, very exciting. And the pricing, I think from whatever we've understood, it's going to be in the range of 1.6 to 1.7 lakh rupees, which should make it a very exciting motorcycle, not just for those who want to head off to the Himalayas, but those who even want to tackle the awful city roads that we have in India. I have to admit, I have been personally looking forward to the Himalayan, hopefully to add it to my garage, but as excited as I am, I really want to ride the motorcycle to see if it can live up to the promise that the package seems to deliver right here while it's standing there on that stage.